Pesticide companies could soon be protected from lawsuits about the safety of their products. Democrats say that they're concerned the bill would strip Iowans of protections if they get sick.
Republicans say the products are safe and the cost of these chemicals are going up due to frivolous lawsuits. Iowa Capitol Bureau reporter Connor Hendricks has a look at the bill that Iowa would be first in the nation to pass.
Once upon a time, we were told, ship workers were told, construction workers were told, automobile workers were told that working with asbestos was safe. That label was wrong.
A bill passed by the Iowa Senate Tuesday would shield pesticide manufacturers from lawsuits if they're following EPA warning guidelines.
Every other state, people can go ahead and sue these companies, but Iowans, they can't.
Democrats say they're concerned with the rise in cancer cases in Iowa, and this strips away Iowans' protections if they get sick from chemicals. Senate President Amy Sinclair says Iowans still have a means to sue.
It doesn't prevent anyone from seeking recourse for actual damages they receive because of any product. It doesn't. Don't say that. It doesn't do that. What it does is prevents a company, any company, who manufactures these agricultural chemicals, it prevents them from being sued for following the law.
There's this old saying, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. So you can try to dress this up whatever way you want. But the bottom line is this. This bill is stripping away the legal protections for Iowa farmers.
Republican State Senator Jeff Edler of State Center says glyphosate, commonly known as Roundup, is now banned in 33 countries due to fears about its safety, but scientists have yet to prove it causes cancer. Edler says the legislation is needed due to a flood of lawsuits against the manufacturer.
Glyphosate is one of the least harmful chemicals we deal with. And under what's going on, we could lose that.
Chinese chemical companies are cut out from the protections. From the Iowa Capitol Bureau, I'm Connor Hendricks reporting.
Now.